Hey, folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I am Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John, our resident millennial. John, how are you doing this evening?
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Not bad, not bad, not bad.
I'm seeing an elephant man. I'm seeing a saint. I'm seeing a midget B in the chats, the
Yeah.
various chats. Good evening,
In the D
gentlemen.
lives.
Good evening, gentlemen, and I use the term loosely. Um, I mean, what do you do, right? I mean, you don't want to give somebody too much props, right? Elephant Man's morning from Elephant Man. Are you still homeless? Technically, no.
No, I'm not.
Technically,
No, I'm
no.
not. Yeah.
I see Wyatt has popped in. Good to see you, Wyatt, from the Breakdown with Birkenhoff. Nice to see you
Oh yeah. What up,
joining
Wyatt?
us this evening. So, John, how's things going? Living La Vida Loca?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
It's
that
been pretty good. Like I mentioned, I've been just chilling mostly, man. It's actually been pretty nice.
uh,
Wait, what does he call us bitches? Saint says that's why I call you bitches. But
because
why?
we're special? Um,
I
because
guess. Okay. Yeah.
because we're special. I think that's because we're special. We're special. It's got to be what it is.
I think we might be special. Yeah. Well, cheers.
Cheers is always good. So
Ah. Yeah.
no, no, things are turning around. Things are doing good for you. I'm happy for that. Thus y'all are
Yeah.
bitches. I never
Me
give
too.
anyone too much credit. Thus y'all are bitches. Ah,
Fair enough.
well, I wouldn't want too much credit anyway. I'll just ruin it. Um, I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of my MO. I mean, what do you want? You know? I mean,
Don't let me around your credit. I'll ruin that shit too.
run a fucking check first. I'm just saying, run the fucking check. All three agencies, please feel free. No, my identity was never stolen. Nobody ever wanted
Right.
it.
To just give it right back.
They just pass right over mine. They're like, no, 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 keep
Nope.
going. No, no.
Not gonna help us.
Here, we'll take this homeless guy. John, crazy stuff, man. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. What are we? We're less than 2 weeks. Are we
Yeah, I
less than two
heard.
weeks? You heard?
Yeah.
You heard something? What you heard?
I don't know. I heard something where people were mad about like some emails or something or
Oh, the emails. Yeah,
some
yeah.
pictures of diminutive people that might have been on someone's computer. I don't remember.
Are you feeling any deja vu? Are you feeling like
Yeah.
we were kind of here? I don't know, say 4 years ago, like in this
Well, I
almost
don't know.
exact same
I mean,
spot.
obviously they're different, right? Obviously they're different circumstances,
Um,
but yeah, I mean it's pretty similar in a lot of ways.
I mean, so in case you have been living under a rock, the I'm thinking that this is the final stroke in the master plan to foil the election for Joe Biden. I think this is the one that they've been holding in reserve, and but apparently Rudy Giuliani's gotten a hold of a laptop that was left at a Rhode Island repair shop, apparently by Hunter Biden, if credibility can be given to the apparent receipt that was signed for said drop off, but never picked up. And I'm like, okay, here we go. But apparently, the owner of it first turned it over to the FBI, or said something to the FBI about it, brought it to their attention, and they didn't move on it fast enough, and then winds up handing off a copy of the hard drive, which I'm very surprised is okay to do, and then to Rudy
Yeah,
Giuliani or his lawyer, et cetera, gets it into Rudy Giuliani's hands, who then goes to the New York Post and gets them to, they write an article about it, blowing the lid off of it. Because nobody else would touch it. They didn't think anybody else would put their hands on it, or if they did, they would just spend the entire article trying to discredit it. So, but Apparently, there's emails between him and his daughters, text messaging, that kind of thing, talking that kind of points fingers at his father's interactions with his finances, and then now there's more coming to light that there may be other messages going, conversations that were happening that show that Joe Biden actually had a deeper hand in his finances, and that he said he was hands off about what was going on in the Ukraine with Burisma. Okay,
Hmm.
so that's where we're at, and now a new allegation has come out that Giuliani is saying that there's pictures of minors. What did
Diminutive humans.
yeah, basically saying contain numerous pictures of underage girls. He actually presented this information to the Delaware State Police, and they immediately punted it to the FBI. In light of ongoing questions about the credibility of these claims and multiple reports that the FBI is investigating the veracity, law enforcement is referring this matter to the FBI. We don't want to touch it. Right? It's like, fuck this, give it to the FBI. We don't want it, right? Is that what you
Yeah,
would do,
no
John?
shit.
Would you just be like, fuck this,
Hell yeah.
give
I don't
this to
want
the
that
FBI?
shit.
Uh,
I don't want to be hanging on to it for someone to stumble upon it. I'm not hanging on to it.
Oh, sorry, Saint, you're right. Delaware, not Rhode Island. I get the two. I don't know why I get those states confused
They're
whenever I'm
like the
thinking about them.
same thing,
Yeah,
really.
Rudy turned it over
Yeah,
to
it's
the
like the same
police.
thing. Those little
Um,
ones up
yeah,
north, you know.
apparently the FBI has been holding it in reserve for a year. Now that's going to be something I want to talk about. The repair guy gave it to them almost immediately after finding out what he had, but yeah, so they held on to it. Why, I don't know. And Rudy might be in trouble. Borat got him. Delaware detectives don't want to get
Well, so
suicided.
hang on. So hang on though with the Borat thing. Wasn't that a sketch or something that they were doing? I don't remember. I don't know all the details or anything. I just saw it today.
I
Uh,
haven't seen anything about
from what I
that yet.
understand, it was like a sketch thing though. So I don't know how they would have gotten him. I don't know.
um,
Maybe they did. He's probably scummy as fuck. I mean,
so, you know, now something that Saint said, and apparently the FBI has been holding it in reserve for a year now. Um, that goes to something that I saw today. There's an article that came out a couple of days, yesterday actually, yesterday evening, in Time Magazine, Time Online. Now I don't know, and understand, I don't know who owns Time. Most of these news organizations, I don't know who owns it. I mean, the Daily Beast is the one that's talking about the DOJ in Delaware punting it to the FBI. So I mean, it's like, you never know where these sources are coming. These articles are going to come from, but it is, people are talking about things and saying things, and a lot of this is to illustrate just the sheer amount of propaganda slash misinformation that's going to be flying around about this. But apparently, Time has an exclusive that they put out yesterday. Alleged Hunter Biden emails circulated in Ukraine as Rudy Giuliani dug for dirt there last year. And basically, what it's saying is that there were emails, photos, private photos, and emails from a broken laptop of Hunter Biden's that have been circulating in the Ukraine throughout the year last year, or for quite some time, while Giuliani was looking into all of this, and and Ukraine says that they have over the past year the practice of selling or leaking private communications has become so common in Ukraine that the government has announced plans to pass a law against it. This is this is how far how so like there's disinformation campaigns going on all the time over there with shit like this,
right.
right? But the question is, was this stuff circulating around from the laptop? And this is what Giuliani was trying to get his hands on, was figure out where the laptop was, or the was this manufactured based off of those? Because there's still at this point we don't have a lot of legitimacy coming out about the content on the laptop, whether or not these are real or not. I mean, we can go to
Mm.
the, they're saying that, there's sources within the the Post, um, that are saying that, they didn't want to be on the byline. They didn't want to be, because they didn't feel that enough had been done to verify the information. And they put two people on it. One was a woman who had been there for about 4 years, had come to them from Fox, and they put another woman's name on there, and she didn't even know she was on the byline, because she didn't have that much to do with the reporting or anything. But allegedly, she didn't even know she was on the byline till the day it was published. Like when it came out, she found out that she was on the byline. So,
God.
but the people that were bringing it, they didn't. And I'm like, okay, so if your reporters aren't wanting to put their name on this, you know, do is it on them to go a little deeper before they blast something out there like this? What do you think, John? I mean,
um, dude, I don't know anymore. Like, this has just been the craziest fucking year. Um, hmm. I mean, yeah, obviously you should. I mean, I kind of get where they're coming from and wanting to publish it as soon as possible because then you have the scoop. Like, you're the one who broke the story, and that gets a lot of money in your hands. So I get that. But at the same time, how many times have we seen something be reported as completely factual, and then later on, it's like make our original spin on it completely useless? So I don't know. I don't know. It's tough.
yeah, and I mean, so that's, it's one of those things where, you know, um, you have to stop and think what you're about to put out there. I mean, I get that
Yeah,
if you break the news, it's financially, great for you,
yeah.
but it's, I, um, they even had a Post spokeswoman said the story was vetted and the Post stands by its reporting. But I'm like, was it vetted? If it wasn't vetted enough that your reporters don't want to put their name on the byline, um, can you call that vetted?
I
If they don't
mean,
think enough has been done, shouldn't the journalists
or maybe
know?
that's not why. Maybe that's not why they don't want their name on the byline. Maybe it's because they don't want to get suicided. That could always be a reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's other sources. Part of this article goes on to say the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal have reported that they could not independently verify the data in the Post article, which included hedging language referring at one point to an email allegedly sent to Hunter Biden. But then, yet in a statement, the spokeswoman said the story was vetted and the Post stands by it. So I mean, it's like, okay, so it's a little. It almost seems like it's coming at us as disinformation from the get, to some extent, right? It's like, all right, who's muddying the water right from the fucking get go? How is it being muddied? Um,
Hmm.
they Elephant Man says Rudy said it's nothing, but Twitter is saying he screwed a girl he thought was 15. Wow. Uh,
Right. So what I saw though on that is that it was supposedly an actress like Midget B saying, I don't know about the interview part, but like basically the whole deal was that's when Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen, or not Borat, I don't think he was the Borat character, but Sacha Baron Cohen burst in and is like, she's only 15, she's too young for you. Like that was the joke of the skit, right? Like, oh, she's only 15, she's too old for you is the joke. And then people are taking that like little skit, I guess, as something that actually happened. At least that's my understanding of it. So I don't
um,
know what's going on with fucking that either.
So, it was even, Giuliani even basically said that the American people, that even if this is inaccurate, that the American people have a right to know what's on that laptop. Now, does that not
Mm,
scream violation of the Fourth Amendment?
well, so yeah, absolutely. Um, I mean, I don't think Hunter Biden is a public figure in the same way that Joe Biden is. So,
I mean, as
yeah, I think he's more entitled to privacy than his father would be.
I mean, with if it's going to be an ongoing investigation, I guess that kind of means that it's going to come out what's on there. But that's that idea, of him saying that even if it's inaccurate, the American people have a right to know. Well, no, we don't. We don't have a right to know
Yeah.
what the fuck was going on with Hunter Biden if it wasn't illegal. If if
If
you
he's
are
not found guilty yet, like he hasn't been found guilty of anything, so yeah, I mean, I'm generally, obviously, in favor of people having their rights to privacy, but I mean, a few exceptions like the presidential candidate, but his son is not running for president.
well, most of it comes down to so there's another news story out that is talking about apparently Hunter Biden used connections to set up a White House meeting with an elite group of Chinese Communist Party members. They were apparently they had a meeting with him. They're called the what did they officially? They have an official name for their little group. CPC. I can't remember the name of it. Yes, the China Entrepreneur Club, started in 2006, but is led by high officials of the Chinese Communist Party, government officials, including diplomats and billionaire business executives with close ties to the regime. And apparently, part of their coming to the White House was a meeting with Joe Biden. Everything was documented except it was a closed door meeting with Joe Biden, so it wasn't what went on in that meeting was not talked about. But apparently there are emails that were going back and forth that Hunter was on most of them, but there were a couple where he was excluded from them to make sure he was out of the chain. Even one kind of saying that to that extent, I'm like, uh, that you're a fucking idiot. Then you're not going to include him on the email, but you're going to call him out in the email. It's just, how fucking stupid are you if that's real? But apparently, where he used his connections over in the Ukraine, set up this meeting so that these Chinese folks could come and talk with Joe Biden and get a visit to the White House because they weren't getting anyone else in the White House wasn't taking them wouldn't wasn't giving them a meeting. Um, which I'm like, okay. And I will say what's interesting, one of the people involved with this, and I had to double check, and I'm like, okay, no, this isn't him. His last name is Khashoggi, because isn't that the guy that the Saudi Arabians killed? The reporter Khashoggi, wasn't that his name? Or am I?
That was the Arabian guy, yeah,
Yeah,
Khashoggi.
yeah. Well, there
Yeah,
was another guy
what was that
involved in
guy?
this that an intermediary named Mohammed Khashoggi. So I was just, I was like, oh, well, there's that. But no, no, not the same guy that got iced in Saudi Arabia. So no ties there. um, uh, let's see, Midget, Mrs. I see Ed has shown up in the house. I like Ed.
He
He's
has
fun.
indeed.
Uh,
He's all right
Ed,
for a
what's
white
the
boy.
truth? Mrs. says, gee, Robert, who is it in the CIA filled corporate media who's poisoning the well? I think they all are. I don't know. I mean, I'm, I'm kind of at that point where I think everybody's pissing in the same drinking water. Everybody's pissing in the same drinking water. I don't know who to trust anymore in this. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't,
You can trust me, Robert.
I don't, I don't, I couldn't tell you if I saw the only way I would know for sure If any of this stuff is real, is if I saw it actually happening in real time. Like if I saw Hunter Biden sign that receipt, that's the only way in this day and age I could believe beyond a
Even
shadow of a
then, you got
doubt
to
that it's
worry
real.
if even
Or
then you got to worry about if it's a body double or not.
right. It's like maybe if it's him sitting in front of a microphone on a camera, DNA tested and saying, "Yeah, yeah, that's my laptop," and that stuff on
Deep
there is
fake. I
real.
mean,
I don't know. Uh, Also, the hard drive is legally his property. The emails detail impropriety on behalf of the big guy. Um, yeah, I mean, if it does, yes, that's important. If there's improprieties on the part of his father, yes, I could see that as long as it's found in an investigation. Now, see if they're depends on what they're investigating. If they're just investigating questionable material and they come across stuff that implicates the father in having to do with his business dealings, um, does that? How does
but
that? There's a aren't there like legal loopholes that falls into? I don't know. They twist the justice system.
sometimes, but not sometimes, but not within the case of like a presidential candidate or something like that. Somebody important. Well, somebody important is more likely to get away with it, I guess. But things that have like huge consequences, they're not gonna just pass that over. But like this, if they're looking for child porn and they find out you're selling weed, they don't really care about that too much. They're not worried
um,
about that.
Ed says, "Do I need to school you on the Constitution again?" No, I'm pretty clear. It's just I'm not going to say the question doesn't come up. When you're thinking about, well, what does the American public have a right to if this is inaccurate? I mean, we could be, we could, I don't know. He could be destroying two people's lives right now with bullshit information, manufactured information for all we know. I mean, nobody knows for sure yet. And I'm like, what uh, we need to not be having these conversations about it without an investigation being done. It just muddies everything. It fucks everything up. People are already making, judgments on this and can't even verify that the contents are 100% real, you know, or where the source of it
Hmm.
is, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. That bothers me. you know, it's just it almost seems like election meddling. Almost, almost. I'm just saying almost. But anyway, Mitch says no, they don't. I think he's talking about rules for me, but not for thee from Elephant Man. Yes, I get that one. Biz, I
Hmm.
just want to marry
Absolutely.
about beautiful Orthodox Jewish woman and have a million
Marry
Jewish
a,
babies.
marry a beautiful Orthodox Jewish woman and have a million Jewish babies.
I
Yeah.
just, it's not
Sounds
about.
good, dude. Do it. And in fact, I challenge you to get to a million. It's pretty impressive.
It might take more than one wife. It's off to Utah with me. Then there you go. See, or just start your own compound. I'm just saying, you can declare things once
You can start a harem. Yeah.
I'll double
Yeah,
your
start a harem
religious
in
but
your own
not Jewish.
compound.
Um,
I'm
I
already working on doubling my own body there, and see, working on doubling it.
so so are we? I mean, is this a smart play? Is this smart for Trump to be doing right now? Because I can't
I
get
mean,
past
is
the
he
idea that
doing
it's
it?
timed. Well, it's Giuliani. I
Oh,
can't get
oh,
past
it's
the
for
idea that
sure
it's timed.
timed. It's
Yeah.
for sure timed. Yeah,
Ed
yeah.
says the leak
So,
came when a computer repairman took legal possession as a private citizen and turned it over to the FBI. That the leaks came because he had suspicions. As
we
I'm
don't have the
guessing he's
rest.
just. I guess he's going to say had
No,
suspicions, et cetera,
because
et cetera.
he and then Ed got suicided right before he could finish the sentence. So rip F in the chat for Ed. He's been suicided. Unfortunate. Here's for you. Here's to you, Ed. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get the rest of that message. Like I said,
So
been suicided
in regard, he said
like
because he
he
turned it
turned
over
it
to
over to.
still a private
Okay.
citizen. He's a private attorney who leaked it to the press. Right. Okay. So, but that's the thing. He turned it over to the FBI first, right? And this is what's important to me in this from the very get, the legality of making a copy of the hard drive, okay, and later turning it over to a private citizen. Now, first off, my thought is, or is this: if there is something, you know, underage pornography on there, is that not on the burden of the repairman for having duplicated it and transferred it to another private citizen? Isn't that a bad
um,
thing?
not to an attorney, I would imagine. I'm sure there's different laws for turning things to an attorney. You know, um,
It's
now duplicating it, I can see that there could be something there. You'd be, I don't know if you would be. I think you'd probably just be distributing
hmm,
child pornography, not manufacturing. It's already been manufactured.
I mean,
Uh, but yeah, I mean, maybe, but like distributing to yourself for the purpose of turning over to an attorney, that's kind of a it's kind of a
okay.
weak
See,
argument, I think.
Ed says it's his hard drive to copy as many times as he wants. No, not if he's under a service contract. I mean that.
But no, the contract was over. He hadn't picked it up.
So because it hadn't picked up, it becomes the property of the store owner.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the deal that you sign. Yeah, that's the deal that you sign whenever you drop your stuff off.
You have no legal right to privacy once the property has been abandoned. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So we're there. All right. So then it comes into the question of first making the copy. Whether or not that's okay. If he suspected there was questionable material on there and makes a copy of it, that I wonder if it's a problem. But secondly, turning it over to the FBI and retaining a copy for yourself. I mean, shouldn't you have to report to the FBI that you're retaining a copy of it? Would they want that
I
as
don't know.
well?
I'm not a lawyer.
So,
I don't
well,
know.
I mean, this is questions that I'm not expecting you would have the answer necessarily, but this is a question that comes to mind when we talk about obstruction of justice. Now, I'm not saying that if all of this is true that anybody gets a pass. What I'm saying is these are the things that are going to derail a case, like
Hmm.
how the information was handled, how the evidence, I should say, was handled, is going to come into question. And if that can be nullified, you can walk the case, right? I mean, we know how it works in this justice system. You can loophole the hell out of shit. Um, it says, Elfman says, I just finished watching Star Trek 3 Search for Spock. Forgot how good that movie is. Wait,
Fantastic
yeah.
movie.
Um, it was a good movie, but I mean, only second place to The Wrath of Khan. I'm sorry, was a great movie. Um,
It was good.
it
It
was
was
great.
good.
Ricardo Montalban. I mean, I grew
Yeah, I
up with
know.
him. He was the shit, and getting him to play that at his age and him still looking that good, and he played the part well. I won't say that
Yeah.
everybody else was great in it, but it was only their second movie after starting to be Star Trek movie uh,
Yeah.
crew. But anyway, so Saint says after a certain period of time, his past property becomes legally his. I've actually been in a situation, Ed says, where a business owner had to take legal possession of abandoned property, which is a lot harder with a titled item, a vehicle. It's fairly simple process in most states for an item without a title. Saint says that was insurance, and as long as he has no knowledge of the illegal matter, then there is no legal liability. Okay, so um, that's the thing. He gave it to the FBI saying that he thought there was questionable material on there and for them to investigate it. So that's the part that sticks in my head. If you saw something that says you give it to the FBI, I think you have a responsibility to tell the FBI that you're retaining a copy and let them decide if you're allowed to retain that copy of that information.
Well, so uh, what? Um, yeah. So no. that kind of verbiage, if that is actually what he said, the I think there's questionable material on here. That kind of verbiage can save him from some sort of, like from it allows him in court to be able to say, I didn't know what was on there. I just thought there was something questionable. So I just did the safe thing and turned it into the FBI. Let them do
Okay,
what they will.
so
So I mean, I can see why you would, why he would say that. Yeah,
I
whether
mean,
or not he actually saw it is irrelevant
well, I mean,
because
it's
he all he has to do is say, I think there's something questionable on here.
okay. So let me. I guess that that sounds completely fudgy. Like, how do you
Yeah,
think there's questionable material if you didn't see something?
irrelevant.
What?
That's the thing about yeah, in court, it's like you just feel like he was shifty eyed when he came in. He was, kept telling me like, hey, don't check the hard drive, whatever you
Okay,
do,
so
whatever
why
kind of
didn't it? But
nonsense he
why
has to
did?
say.
But he didn't report it. He didn't report it then. He had the laptop there for a long while.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obvious,
Again, I'm
right?
not a lawyer. I'm just saying that that kind of verbiage can save
Yeah,
him.
right. It's
You know,
there's yeah. I mean, it gets wonky on both sides. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I am curious about where what this uh, was that was running around you carrying last year. If it was like from the same laptop, or if it was you know like complete faked propaganda that was running around because of everything that was being said in the media about Hunter and Joe Biden as we're gearing up for a presidential run. I don't know, man. It's got me fucked in the head, especially only a lot of it is because Giuliani's involved. And I have not trusted that bastard since he got on Team Trump and just really just says some of the most ludicrous things that I'm just like, how do you keep this guy in your pocket? Why would you keep this guy in your pocket? He seems so loose cannon. Just some of more loose cannon than fucking Donald Trump. And that's saying something,
maybe that's why he likes him so much.
I guess. uh, Ed says that is a movie, which means I've never seen it, but that's just because
It's
you're.
also Star Trek, so you should see it. If there's any movie you should see, it's Star Trek movies.
It's well, that's Ed's problem has been he's been afflicted with the super gay for so long that
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. So, but don't
It
worry, Ed.
inhibits his ability to
The
watch movies.
medications are in the works. They're going to figure this out. No worries. If you want a good breakdown, watch last week's Viva Frey stream. Uh, your TDS is showing, Robert. Trump derangement syndrome. Look, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
This look. I don't look. I'm not. I don't. I don't fucking give a fuck about either one of these candidates at this point. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie and say, I mean, they have looked at some of this Joe Biden stuff already and said that they couldn't find anything. There was supposedly a meeting that he was supposed to have had, but they can't find anywhere where this meeting ever happened
Yeah.
or anything. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You've got Trump. Apparently, he was. I don't know if it's true. He was at a rally reading Hunter Biden's emails
I guess
from
so,
this. I
yeah.
don't know, but
I didn't watch that.
now apparently he was asked. Trump was asked, are you gonna approach this debate on the 22nd the same way you did the first one? And he's like, I debate the way I debate, and if he's telling a lie, I got to call him out right then and there and stop him. So yeah, I mean, if I'm going to interrupt him, basically it's kind of seemed like he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah,
when
it's
is that
just gonna
supposed to be?
tomorrow night, probably be like 8 or 9
Oh,
o'clock.
fuck. All right,
I mean,
fair enough.
I mean, there's so many games being played on both sides of this. It's not even funny. It's just all madness right now. You're not going to get nothing. Nothing is real. That's the way you should approach the next two. Nothing is real. Nothing is real.
Yeah,
You
that's
got
true.
you should shut it all out and go to your polling place only looking at very specifically policy that has occurred over the last 4 years and policy that is put forward moving forward for the next 4 years by both of these men. Look at that and ignore all the other shit, because all of that other shit, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I can't buy it anymore.
Not only that, but even if it is real, guess what? As soon as the election's over, it's gonna disappear. Whether it's real or not,
Right.
it's gone.
Nothing else is going
No
to
one's gonna care
matter.
anymore.
Nothing else is
Right.
going to matter
No
come,
one's gonna. No one's gonna. Yeah. No one's gonna care about that after.
right?
They'll bring it up once in a while, like in an internet argument, but that's it. Like no one's gonna care about Hunter Biden's emails,
Well,
no matter how bad they are.
I mean,
And I'm sure they are
well,
perfectly disgusting.
in one, in some way, shape, or form, everything, like, it's the election is going to be going on for a fucking week at least, right? It's
Oh, more than
the
that, yeah.
entire
They're gonna
the
push it.
entire week of the election is going to be chaos, before, during, and after, and it's going to be madness in the media. There's gonna I there's gonna be a rash of Karen videos hitting. There's going to be a rash of Antifa and shit. You're going to see all sorts of shit hitting as people are showing up at polling sites and this, that, and the other thing. And there's going to be clashes with police because people who shouldn't be doing something at polling sites are going to be fucking doing that shit at polling sites, like, I don't know, bringing guns or trying to sway voters, and all of this shit is going to be going on. I saw somebody posted a meme, not a meme, but link. This somebody was like, "Thanks from California. Thanks for the 7 ballots, California," and sitting there marking each one of them with the press. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah,
Oh,
I got 4 of them
oh,
in
Ed
one day
gave us. Hang
myself.
on, Ed gave us a diamond
Not,
on D
Ed
Live.
did.
I didn't check that before. Yeah, thank you, Ed. You're awesome.
Sane says, even if you
Fuck
ignore
yeah.
this, Biden's tax plan screwed him. I could see that. Now, see, that's
Yeah, you
something
see
I
that
can
Fitty?
relate to.
Yeah,
I can
see
re-
Fitty was like, I'm out. Like he's like, I'm getting out.
Who?
Uh,
What?
50 cent.
Oh,
50 cents to you white folk.
no.
But yeah, Fitty was
I'm
all
trying to
pissed off
understand
though.
what you're referencing. I'm not familiar with. I know who 50 Cent is.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
sure
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
referencing.
It's not 50 cent. It's Fitty.
I did.
Right?
I said 50 Cent. That's exactly what I
Uh,
said. What you're
it's
hearing
not
and
50
what
cent either. It's not 50 cent. It's just Fitty.
John,
Fitty.
John, there's
Anyway,
nothing worse than a
anyway,
neckbeard trying
so
to
he was all
educate
pissed off
somebody else.
about Biden's plan.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
All right,
And
Fitty.
that's important, right?
Yeah, he was all pissed off about it, and Ed said I dropped a diamond, and then Robert called me big gay. Let me
Whoa, whoa,
retract
whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa,
Damn, see,
whoa.
look at you insulting our people who are our donators.
Hold on. I didn't call you big gay. I said afflicted with. That's an entirely different thing, right? I mean, it's kind of
He's
like the
suffering from a
difference between,
malady. He's not. That's not a personality thing.
it's kind of the difference between diabetes 1 and diabetes 2, right? So
Right.
you're like diabetes 2. It can be controlled, and it'll go away if managed properly. So it's okay. All you got to do is, like, I don't know, get a VCR and plug a tape in every once in a while and watch a movie.
Whoa. God damn. It's an
Yeah, I
old
threw that
ass
out there.
reference.
I threw that
Yeah,
out
you
there.
did.
I did. I figured it'd be something he could find at a garage sale, and he wouldn't have to spend a lot of money on something
I
else.
don't know that you still even find one at a garage. I don't know that you can still find one at a garage sale. Like you'll find like Blu-ray players and like DVD players from back then. Maybe like an HD DVD player, perhaps. But yeah, I don't think you're finding a lot of VHSs or VHRs anymore. VCRs, whatever, same thing.
Saint says distinction without a difference, Robert. I disagree. If you look at diabetes 1 and 2, you'll see how there's a difference. Some people are born with it, some are not. So Ed could fix his. It's okay. And if it costs me a diamond to say that, I can understand. Um, but as long as you're John's friend, because he's going to need you on Friday, you should really. I hope you did. You mention that to him? Have you talked? Have you guys been plotting a show?
No.
You forgot, didn't you?
Why? Yeah, that's right. I did forget. Shit. Yeah, you're right. I totally forgot.
Ed, John
Shit.
needs to talk to you. Maybe she's more with it. Maybe it's big. It's the big gay.
Funk.
See, I like it, Saint. Saint gets
Probably.
Saint hit that reference. Maybe it's big gay.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I have an anniversary on Friday, and you know, I don't get,
That's right. Dude, I totally forgot about that.
you should not do that.
Yeah, I should probably avoid forgetting things that important. God damn it. Alright.
I'm gonna live on the
I'll
edge
figure
and
something out.
I'm gonna live on the edge and take my wife out for a big fat steak dinner. Live on the edge.
Wow, you fucking mad lad.
I'm even gonna take my mask off to eat.
Well, no, that's fine, because once you're sitting down, the virus can't get you. It can only get you when you're standing up.
Oh well, I was just gonna order extra garlic because I figure that
Ah.
wards it off. I think. Yeah, with
Yeah,
a
it's
side of
true.
bleach,
They're like vampires.
you can get a bleach dipping sauce for your steak too, and it's to die
Oh,
for. But
I thought you said leech. I'm like, what are you gonna? You're gonna like bloodletting?
Ed,
Like
seriously,
you're gonna
Seriously,
you're
Ed,
just gonna let some blood out?
Seriously,
It's
seriously, seriously. Do you see how he's
more like
talking
a
about?
chicken nugget.
You see how he's
It's more
talking
like a
about my
chicken
wife?
nugget, not a big fat steak. Just letting you know. What?
I'll just have you know, statistics show marriages with small penises don't last.
So what? Oh, marriages with small penises?
Yes, marriages involving
Hmm.
small penises don't last
Well, I mean, there's always
unless
exceptions.
properly cucked.
Right. Well, I mean, you are a cuck, so
No, I have been a cuck.
seems to be properly.
I would
Did you give up your cuck
I
ways of the past?
I have played many roles in the past, John. I mean,
Ah, yes.
we like to call it
Yes.
experimenting once upon a time. Uh,
All the world is indeed a stage, and all the men and women merely simps. Yeah.
it does make you wonder sometimes. So all right, John. Here, I'm going to ask you this again before before we hit that November deadline. But as it stands right now, which way do you think the election's shaping up? Bearing in mind that if a lot of polls show anywhere between 7 and 10 points Trump behind
Oh, I
Biden.
don't give a fuck. I don't give a
I
fuck
know,
about
I know, I
polls. I
know,
don't
no,
give a fuck
I know,
about
no, no,
polls.
I
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
I don't.
But
Yeah.
bearing that
Doesn't
in
matter.
mind, I mean, supposed public sentiment has Trump trailing Biden, but we have voting going on too that
Yeah.
factors in there.
Selected. Right.
Right. But
Right.
where do you think it
No, I
stands
mean,
right now?
I still think Trump takes. I still think Trump takes it. I don't think in a landslide. I think it'll be close. They might need to rely on the electoral college again. Like the popular vote might not be. I don't think Trump's going to win the popular vote, but maybe he might win it slightly. Uh, but I think he's going to take the electoral college for sure. I think it's going to be highly contested, though. I don't think we're going to know until January, to be honest. I don't think we're going to know for sure
Yeah.
because everyone's going to be contested, no matter which way, no matter who the initial winner comes out to be. It's going to be contested immediately. And it's going to be dragged through a fucking expensive taxpayer, paid process
They'll have to do a stimulus package
that,
just for that.
yeah,
Saint
yeah,
says
exactly.
I call it experimenting. He calls it degeneracy. I have to say,
It's definitely
I don't think
degeneracy. It's just whether or not you care about
it's
being a
not
degenerate.
degeneracy, honestly. I mean, it's constitutionally protected, is what it is.
It's still degeneracy, though.
No,
It's just whether or not you
no.
care about being degenerate.
If my
Yeah.
actions are protected by the Constitution, that I do these things in the privacy of my own or someone else's home, I'm protected by the Constitution, so it's not degeneracy. I haven't broken no
It's
laws.
not. No,
I've
no, no. It's not
broken no
about law.
laws.
It's not about law.
Hey, I have not broken any standards of decency because the
See,
Constitution
Saint
protects it.
agreeing with you. You have a right. You have a right to be a degenerate, Robert. That's what he says, and he's correct.
I I don't believe that your judgments are I called these judgments degeneracy. That's really what it comes down to. That's degenerate behavior, judging people
So, Robert,
for doing things. I think
what
that's
is
horrible.
what is the so, Robert, what is the most sexually degenerate thing you've ever done?
The most sexually
What do you think?
degenerate thing I've ever done.
Right. Just the most wacky and out there thing that you've ever done.
And you want me to say this
Yeah,
on a live stream?
you've cornered me before.
I would say the most degenerate thing I've done is probably cucked for a night at an adult store slash movie theater, and yeah, that was probably the most degenerate. Yeah, I did things that most people. I'm not saying I'm proud of it at all. I'm
Right.
just saying I did things. I know what happened there, and I'm just saying it was pretty degenerate by other people's standards. But
Right.
everybody that was there,
Well, they were
nobody
having a
there
great
saw
time,
me
I'm
as a
sure.
degenerate.
Right, because
Right?
they were too. That's why, yeah.
I was just, I was just, I was just controlling the line. I'm just like, all right,
I
you're next.
mean,
Up.
thieves don't exactly go around calling each other thieves, right? I mean, that's why they didn't call you a degenerate. Saint said he doesn't want to hear this. Yeah, well, there it is. But no, I think this. I think you actually told me about that one time.
Look, I'm just saying, I'm just saying I've had a colorful past. Because I don't know. I'm a very uninhibited person when it comes to things. I don't, other than just standards of social norm. Like I'm very respectable. I'm not in out in society. I am far from a degenerate. I'm a very well spoken, well put
That's
together
true.
person. I'm
I'll give you that.
upstanding, right? What I do behind closed doors,
Right.
you know,
You're not the one in the parade. Right. You're not the one in the parade
right,
with assless chaps and a
right.
puppy mask on.
And I'm not ashamed
Yeah.
of my behavior. That's the other thing because morals are subjective, and what I believe is okay for people to do is a whole different set of values. What I teach as far as standards, and morals for my kids is they don't know about my past. They don't know what I've done. I tell them, I teach them to live by a certain moral code out in public, how you treat people, decent behavior, treat people as you would want to be treated, you know? I mean, those are good morals, good values, good standards to have, you know. I'm sorry I don't prescribe to
Yeah.
any that come from a theological standpoint. I unfortunately I don't do that much anymore. It's more about just treating people like humans, being nice to other people. Fuck. It's really all that really fucking matters in this day and age is just
It's
being
true.
nice to each other and not fucking
Being a
giving a
good
shit what they
person.
think in their head. What people think in their head, it doesn't necessarily reflect in their actions.
Right.
John, you've been out with me in public many times.
Yeah.
Do I appear to you as a morally degenerate person in public?
No. Oh no, I'll give you that. You certainly don't.
Yeah,
You
because
put on a good, you put on a good face.
right. So I meet the public standard, and what goes on behind closed fucking doors is none of your damn business. None of your damn business. Um, but I'm not going to hide from it either. John probably shouldn't ask me those questions because it makes me look look horrible. But that's why he does it, just so I'll look a little nice.
That's like the first time I've ever done that. Watch your
Ed says
profanity.
degenerated and our minds are vegetated. I was in a male, female, female, female four-way once. I think that might be the most degenerate I got.
So wait, because Saint said, "Fucking people call me a degenerate for liking anime." Well, that's not true. It's the anime titties. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
See, Robert might be a real cuck, but you, Saint, were cucked by cartoons. I'm just saying that's kind of a little bit more degenerate, I think.
But I mean, I was always, I kind of, once I got out of that horrible environment that I was in as a kid, I I realized that I had the ability to choose what I wanted to do. Like I could, I had no idea who I was as a person. I was just like, fuck it. And so I explored in so many ways. I mean, I did religious exploration as a part of this, right? I mean, there was a period of time
Hmm.
where I was involved with church, like two different Baptist and Mormon, trying to figure out where I was theologically, and after being raised Catholic, so I went through that, and then I went off the reservation, as it were, and you know went down that path of degeneracy. I tried drugs, and I made my peace with how I was with drugs and alcohol and what my stance on that was. I learned that I don't like alcoholics, right? I don't love anybody who's too drunk, right, John? But I learned these things about myself only from putting myself in these places and positions. But it is what it is. I mean, it's Mormons get to do it, right? It's like, here, send your
No,
kids off at
Mormons don't get to
16.
do
At
shit.
16, what is it? What do they call it whenever
That's
they
the
say you get to,
Amish.
or the Amish?
That's
Excuse
the
me, I said
Amish.
Mormon. I don't. I
You
was thinking
did.
Mormon because I said Mormon earlier. It hit my head instead of Amish. But the Amish go away at what? 16 years old? 17?
Yeah, Rumspringer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rumspringa. And
Rum,
so I mean, and whatever
Rumspringer.
happens,
Rumspringer.
I mean,
Woo!
they're kind
Yeah.
of like the epitome of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You gotta love them, right? It's just like whatever you do while you're out there, nobody ever has to know if you come back, right? If you even come back.
Right, if you come
Um,
back.
snap back to reality. Watch your profanity. Center of gravity.
To
Ed says, I think that
profanity.
I might have used up all my luck for the next 6 years because my life was kind of lame for a few years after that. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you have something like that happens, and it does. It's a thing you'll cycle back into it at some point, maybe, where
Oh
it's like,
shit! Real quick, real quick, real
uh oh,
quick, real quick. Elephant Man donated a ninja genie.
shut
Just
up.
1,000 lemons over on D Live. He
Wow.
said, "Come on, let's get drunk, bitches." I am working on it.
He said,
I
"There,
got
get a toaster,
this little
John."
kitty right here.
Saint says, "I don't cuck for the cartoons. If I have a
This
choice, I'm
little.
choosing real titties." I agree, Saint. But um, yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, but remember,
There we go. Yeah,
but
so I'm drinking
remember,
right now.
um, premarital titties are considered degenerate behavior to a lot of people. So remember that. And even anime titties would be considered degenerate to a lot of people. Like titties in any form or
Oh yeah.
fashion other than in a well covering majorly covering bra, um, and a shirt and a sweater and a jacket. you know? Elephant Man says no titties are degenerate. Saint says never have I claimed not to be a
That's not true.
degenerate. It's not
Yeah,
true.
see?
In his name, your name almost implies that you're not a
That's
degenerate,
true. Your name does say that you're
right?
like
I
you're
mean,
sinless.
right? There's
So I mean,
nothing
I'm
in
just
your
saying,
name
yeah.
that's supposed to kick the irony, is there? We have to know that it's
Yeah.
ironic. But well,
What
John,
elephant
I'll
man?
ask you.
He
What do
said,
you,
"How dare you?" What?
John?
How dare what?
What would you say is the most degenerate thing you've ever done?
I'm actually kind of boring. The most degenerate thing I've ever done is sex in a family restroom in Macy's at the mall.
And you call that degenerate?
I
That's
said it was pretty boring, didn't
that's
I?
opportunistic. That's not degeneracy.
Yes, it was very opportunistic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
mean, you were in a relationship with this person, or was it just a
Yeah.
random
No,
meeting?
I was. Yeah, I was in a
Oh,
relationship with the person. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
like I said. It really wasn't
That's not
that. Like,
that's
I'm
not
not that
even. I don't know if
exciting.
that is that considered degeneracy to just have sex with your partner.
I would say
If
so.
you were behind, you were in a you were in a closed area. Nobody was the wiser. I'm sure she wasn't making a lot of noise, so it's not like
She had a very good time. Thank you very much.
saint says a saint without a name is a saint no longer. Ed, that
I
was a
guess that's
juicy one
true.
point for me, dude. That's the place to get some strange.
Yeah, well, I had familiar with me, so.
Because see, I've the glass elevator at the Peachtree Center going up to the Sundial Restaurant. I didn't
Yeah.
even qualify something like that as degenerate behavior. I just qualified that as just, well, who I was doing it with was probably degenerate because I mean, it's not like it was just somebody. But
Right.
I mean, it might have actually been our first date, and we
I
were
see.
having sex
I
on the
just
way to
don't have
dinner.
the. I just don't have the balls to do that sort of thing. I just don't have it.
You don't have to have the balls to do it. What you have to do is have the balls to follow somebody else who's convincing you to do it. And when you can do that, John, that's the key.
I'm just not enough of a follower, then I guess.
Bullshit.
I
You could be. Uh, Elfman
don't
says,
think
I had
so.
sex with my ex wife and her cousin before we were married in the backseat of a car during the day. Wait, at the same time? Like
Oh,
a
okay.
threesome? And then here's the really, was it degenerate question? Were they kissing cousins?
Probably. By the
Uh,
time he was done with them.
Elfman
I
says
don't know.
yes. So both. So obviously both
But
of
that
them.
was also really quick.
What?
Hmm.
What was
I
really
don't know.
quick?
It was just, he answered really quick
Oh,
after you
he was
asked,
probably
so I don't know
answering
if
the
he was
first
referring to
part.
that.
No
No
kissing.
kissing.
See.
He
So
said no
yes,
kissing,
he
yeah.
yes it was both of them, but no, they weren't kissing cousins. Okay.
Well, that's unfortunate.
No, not at
I
all.
mean, it's not
That's
like one of them's going
dude,
to get the other one pregnant, so the
dude.
incest there is not a problem.
Dude, that's fun stuff. That's
Like,
fun stuff
yeah.
right there. There's absolutely that qualifies as top notch fun right there. You remember that? Yeah, you hang on to that one. That's a good story. It's always a good story. The riskiest sex I ever had? The riskiest back of a Pinto
Oh. See, the riskiest for me
with
was
oncoming.
in
There was
my,
traffic coming by, so
right, was actually in my bed when I was underage with my parents out in the living room and my bedroom door open. That was the most risky.
Saint says well, it wasn't the fact that it was in public that it was risky. It was because it was a Pinto and the gas tanks were known to explode if somebody rear-ended it. Um, Saint says the most degenerate thing for me is sleeping with a married woman. But was it your wife?
Right,
And
doesn't it kind of fit your
if
wife?
if so, I would no no. I was going to say if so, what made it so degenerate? But I figure
Yeah,
it's
I was gonna
with it.
say like doesn't.
My first child was born 3 weeks to the day before my second
Ooh,
child.
damn, damn. Yeah, that is that's impressive, Elephant Man. All I gotta
Mm,
say is nice, nice.
wow. Saint
Yeah,
says I've never been married. It was a police officer's wife. Well, now that's just stupid. Don't who
yeah,
fucks
that's
a
pretty stupid
you
because
don't
he's just gonna
fuck a
execute you.
cop's wife, dude. Come on now. I mean, come
Right,
on. That motherfucker can find you. I mean, it's
right.
right. I mean, it says you know.
Oh, Ed's bored with our talk.
No, I
Well,
think
you know,
he's.
it's
No,
all right, Ed.
I think he's.
Since you're bored with our, hmm?
I think he was talking
No, I
about
was saying
the.
if you're bored with our conversation, Ed, it is 10:30. So
No, I think he was. I
if
think he was more
Ed
referring
wants
to
us to shut
Saint's
down,
comment. Saint's comment. He was referring to
um,
that. Yeah. Um, yeah. No, I. No, I've. I don't know, man. I can't complain at this point in my life that I haven't lived. if you look at it from the standpoint of just what I how wild and crazy I was for a period of time there and all the things that I did. I mean, I
Hmm.
literally was, I put my life on the line for like two almost 3 years solid. Like I was sleeping with somebody different almost every night, and I mean it's literally putting my life on the line because this was back in the late '80s, so AIDS was running around, and I was purely doing stupid, risky behavior, and I came out of it okay, which I
Right.
thank my lucky stars for often. So I would never
Right.
I
Only
would
the minor case of syphilis.
right no actually one time gonorrhea and that was it.
Oh, but you just clear that right up, yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
clear that
was
right
not
up.
hard to deal with. In the butt. That's in the butt. Oh, he said I loved
In the
fucking a
butt.
cop's wife
In my
in the
butt.
butt. So you yeah, see
Hmm.
then that begs the question in whose butt, hers or yours? Pegging's a thing.
I don't think he cares either one.
I'm willing to bet. Well, I don't know. I think Ed's a lot of talk when it comes to his implied degeneracy,
Ooh.
but
Ooh. Call him out. Get him. Ooh.
uh,
You hear that, Ed? Hear that, Ed? Robert said you're full of shit.
that's not what I said. Did
That's
I
what
say? What did I say?
you said.
I don't believe that's what I said at all.
You said he's a lot of talk. You said he's a lot of talk.
Look, did
Wow.
you ever believe that he had
Ed
a camera
is our
mounted in
friend.
his
You're supposed to
headboard?
back him up, all right?
Did you believe? Did you buy into him having a camera mounted
Ooh.
in his headboard?
Whoa. Hang on. I'm not the one on trial here. You're the one
Answer
calling
the
people out and
question.
stuff.
You're serving as a witness for the
I'm not.
defense.
No, no, this is a conflict of interest. No,
Uh-huh.
conflict of
Uh-huh.
interest. I can't be.
He says, "Man, I was there. You weren't. Only one of us will ever know for sure." About the police officer's wife, you're right. I do believe the male, female, female, female thing. I do believe that you were there when that happened. Um,
You were just one of the other females.
God damn it, John. No.
Sorry, I had to.
See,
It
and
was too easy.
who just threw Ed under the bus?
It was too
Really?
easy.
Right? So I throw Ed
But he
under
knows
the
I'm joking
bus,
with him, so
and
yeah.
you're like, "Fuck it, I'll roll over him." Put the bus in reverse. God, this
Yeah.
is horrible. And I disavow everything John says.
We make a good team, Robert.
Is that what it is? Yeah, but you forget he knows where I live.
That's true. You're only like a short 24-hour drive from him.
All right, so John, let's get the hell out of here before Ed
Alright.
doxes me or something like that.
Right.
So if people want to find us, they have access, they have ways, right? There's ways and means.
Yes, there certainly are. Right down there in the description. We've got all of our links to our social media stuff, like our Twitter, which is at the GenGapP. Got our Discord server over there. You can go over there and you can call Robert a cuck. We've got our Subscribe Star over there. Not sure if we have my GoFundMe anymore. Not sure it's necessary. But want to once again thank everyone who donated. It was extremely helpful during the time that I've had in the past few weeks. So certainly appreciate that. We've got Freedom Scoop over there as well. You can find all of our stuff and other creators like Jay Edgar, who's been in the chat tonight. Stephen Ignoramus. We've got Wyatt Birkenhoff from Breakdown with Wyatt. We've got RRC, and we've got Freckles and Brit over there. So make sure you go and check them out. And also our shirts. You can buy our shirts. Yes, like Robert is modeling right there. Buy your shirts, and you can put in the code GenGap at checkout to get 15% off your purchase. So make sure you do that. That's fun. It's fun stuff to do.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for showing up tonight. A lot of fun
Yeah.
chat stuff going on in the chat tonight. A lot of good back and forth. Look, again, I'm going to say this, and I just want to, just as a parting shot is, you know, try and tune all this shit out for a little bit so that we don't get into some stupidity. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how many people can fucking tune this stuff out, but you know,
It's not easy,
you know.
especially when we're supposed to be in tuned with it.
I mean,
So
there's other people on the ballot that you can vote for if you don't want to go for either one
yeah,
of those guys. I mean,
please do.
I don't even know who some of these parties are. I didn't realize so many people made it onto the ballot in Florida for president. I mean, we got seven choices, John. Seven choices for president.
So I know, let me name the parties. I don't know all the I don't know all the names, but obviously we got Republican, we got Democrat, we got Libertarian, then we got Green Party, then we got the Reform Party,
Uh huh.
and then after that,
What is the
um, what
what is PSL?
PSL? I
Yeah,
have no idea.
that's the abbreviation for one of the parties, and the other one is the CPF.
Oh, the Communist Party of Florida. That's
Nice.
that one. Yeah, that's a legit party.
Maybe the other one
Are
is
there
Progressive
any of
Socialist.
them the Florida Man Party? No, we never started that, and I don't think anyone even knows about that except for the four of us, being Stephen included. I think because we talked about that when we were at your house, Robert. We talked about the Florida Man Party.
Hmm.
We should have done it. Should have done did it.
I don't know what the
Yeah,
PSL is, but I know
I don't
Gloria
know.
La Riva is the presidential candidate, and Sunil Freeman is the VP for the PSL. Maybe it's Progressive Socialist uh, League
Liberation Army.
or Progressive Socialist
Hang on.
Libertarians. I don't know. But I
PSL.
mean, there's other candidates
Party.
that we can choose from. So there's a lot of
Party
folks.
for Socialism and Liberation. I knew it was Socialism and
There you
Liberation. I
go.
knew
A
the L
party
was
for
Liberation.
socialism and liberation.
Yeah.
If you can't find something in these other candidates that tickles your fancy, well,
Vote for the
your
communists,
fancy doesn't need to be tickled. Uh,
Right.
but like trying to, God, I don't know. It's going to be some very murky waters. Tune in tomorrow night if you can and watch the presidential debate. Hopefully it'll come off as a debate, but I don't know. They've already said they were saying they might fuck with his mic. I don't know. I don't know. Fuck. But anyway, so we'll get the hell out of here. John will be back with you on.
Nephilim.
Hopefully, John will be back with you on Friday.
Hopefully.
Nephilim Ninja, good to see you. How are you doing this evening? Hopefully, he can reach out to Ed and he's. Oh, they're streaming it tomorrow night. We should go in
Oh
there and
man, I'm
raid
not
that
gonna be
stream.
around tomorrow. I'm
Who's?
not gonna be around tomorrow,
Oh,
man.
well, I'll go do a lot of stuff in your name then. All right. But
Oh yeah, you like that, right? You finally noticed that?
what?
Oh, you didn't? Okay, never mind.
The you doing stuff in my name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you don't talk about, if you don't bring it up, it just kind of goes away. That's how you deal
I wasn't going
with.
to bring it up until I
That's
thought
what.
you
That's
had
how you
seen
deal
it.
with degenerate behavior in children. You should just
Right,
ignore it and
just
it'll go
ignore
away.
it. Right.
But anyway, so look for John hopefully on Friday night. That'll be at 8:30. We'll also be back again together on Wednesday. What day? What is that date going to be? That is going to be on the 28th, almost Halloween. But the Friday,
Yes.
the Friday following that on the 30th will be maybe we'll do a little spooky Halloween kind of thing going on. Probably
Yeah.
not. I mean, John might wear the costume he's wearing now, more than likely, but um, you
Oh
know,
no, somebody special is going to come back.
I would love to get a visit. Hopefully, we'll have a visitor. So, if
Yeah.
not, but anyway, so we'll see you at 8:30. John will see you 8:30 on Friday, hopefully, and we'll see you again next Wednesday for our next rousing episode of Shooting the Shit at 9:30 p.m. Both of those are Eastern time, the one and only true time zone. Fight me. Um, But until then, be nice to each other. That's really all we can try and shoot for is being nice to each other and try and sort this shit out. Till then, we will talk to you later, folks. Have yourselves a great night. Thanks for all the love. We'll see you soon. Peace
See you
out.
guys.
The war will begin.